For centuries, an object smaller than a credit card has shaped the fate of millions of people. It has saved lives. It has stopped epidemics. It has prevented infections. And yet, it was treated as something shameful, forbidden, immoral. The condom is not just an object. It is one of the most decisive tools in human history. And yet, almost no one knows where it truly comes from. It all begins in the middle of the jungle. In the Brazilian Amazon grows a tree that seems ordinary, but hides within it a substance capable of changing the history of human sexuality, Hevea brasiliensis, the rubber tree. From its trunk flows a thick, milky liquid latex extracted through an ancestral process known as tapping, shallow cuts that allow the sap to drip slowly for hours, drop by drop, as if the tree were bleeding. That liquid travels thousands of kilometers. Today, more than 80% of the world's natural rubber is produced in Southeast Asia, in countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and China. Vast plantations supply an industry that manufactures millions of condoms every single day. Paradoxically, although the tree is native to the Americas, a destructive fungus prevents the continent from matching Asian production. But the condom existed long before latex. In ancient Rome, linen sheaths were used. During the Renaissance, condoms were made from animal intestines. In the 16th century, the Italian physician Gabriele Falloppio described a fabric device soaked in chemical solutions to prevent syphilis. It was uncomfortable, impractical, but it worked. The real turning point came in the 17th century, in the England of King Charles I. Around this period, a story begins to circulate, that of a supposed court physician, often referred to as Lord Condom or Condom, who allegedly advised the king to use a protective sheath to limit his offspring. However, no solid historical records confirm his identity or role. For many historians, this figure is a legend, a convenient name attached to an object that already existed but was becoming more widely known. During the 19th century, with the invention of vulcanized rubber, condoms began to be mass-produced. They were reusable, durable, and relatively affordable. Their use spread rapidly until Victorian morality intervened. In 1873, the United States passed the Comstock Act, which banned the distribution, sale, and dissemination of any material related to contraception. A pamphlet about condoms was considered as obscene as erotic literature. For 63 years, the condom was pushed into the shadows. It was not until 1936 that a court ruling lifted that censorship. And then something extraordinary happened. 15 companies were already selling 1.5 million condoms per day. The 20th century turned the condom into an uncomfortable symbol. The birth control pill displaced it in the 1960s and 70s. But in the 1980s, with the emergence of HIV, it returned as a central figure. For the first time, governments promoted it as public health policy. It was no longer just contraception, it was survival. Latex proved to be the only material capable of blocking the virus. Its effectiveness ranges between 85% and 95% when used correctly. Today, condoms are manufactured with extreme industrial precision, electronic testing, quality controls, and microperforation detection. And yet, myths persist. A standard condom measures 55 mm in width. An extra-large one, barely 57. China holds the record for the largest condom ever made, 80 by 100 meters. In the military, condoms have been used as tourniquets, surgical gloves, waterproof covers, and water containers. Every year, billions of condoms are sold worldwide. 60% are purchased by men, 40% by women. There are female condoms, colored versions, textured designs, spermicidal options, ultra-thin and anatomical models. But their purpose has remained the same for centuries: protection. And this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. For decades, across much of the world, buying a condom was a clandestine act. It was done in a low voice, hidden in drawers, avoided in conversation. Taboo outweighed science. Morality outweighed health. And although today it is commonplace in most countries, there are still places where that past has not ended. In Afghanistan, the use and sale of condoms are prohibited by law. A piece of latex turned into a crime. An act of prevention transformed into disobedience. The irony is that every year, condoms prevent millions of infections and unwanted pregnancies. They are not a symbol of promiscuity. They are not a provocation. They are not rebellion. They are a tool. A barrier between life and disease. Between chance and choice. Between the silence of the past and the awareness of the present. Because sometimes, the real revolution is not shouting louder. It is daring to protect yourself. A small object. An immense story. And an invention that forever changed humanity's relationship with its own body.